Never mind. What the fuck am I doing? What's going on? Is the stream fucking working or not? Nope. I don't know what's going on. Fuck it. Oh, here we go. Lights out and away we go. Kev Cows moved into P2 with Metro firing out. TTV Mertz has gotten away very nicely and has already got 1.5 second lead. Someone is falling back through the order. Looks like Power's down towards the back of the field. There may have been some sort of issue there between a couple of the guys, but TTV Mertz has gotten way extremely well. Kev Cows into P3. Everyone started on the medium tyres in the sprint race because it just makes sense. I just can't be asked. Can't be asked right now. So back down the field, we got Raptors. Raptors going side by side with JD Base on the run down to the last corner. JD Base holds onto the position for now. Let's look at tyres, positions gained. That's everyone's on the same tyres. The biggest loser is Ships. He's had some sort of issue in the turn 1 and 2, I believe. It's down 11. Doggy, Power, Osborne and Hector have also lost out a bit. It's further up the field. Looks like Metro is slowly closing the gap on TT Mertz. DRS will be enabled after this lap. Got Kev Cow and P3 doing very nicely, up 1 position. J-Dog has stayed where he is. Hook Kool-Aid's been the biggest winner off the start. He's up 7 spots. Great start from the McLaren driver. The other McLaren of Lateral is up 3 spots, so good job McLaren. Let's go. There's the closest spell at the moment. It looks like it's Kowalski in the middle of the McLaren sandwich. See, getting Hood's having a look on the inside of him, or just backs out of it. Sorry, I didn't have Charmy up there. There we go. Let's flick through, see what else is going on. We've got Ships trying to recover. He's having a look on Purple Snack for P12. Doesn't quite get it done there, but looks like he's going to have a mega run on him down the straight. Kerbals only got about half a tank of battery, a bit under. Ships has got 80%. Is he going to send it to the inside? No, not for the moment. It's like the McLaren's having a bit of a scrap. Lateral's been passed by Carnage. Pelosi's got past both the McLaren's, or the one he was behind earlier. It's a big gaggle of cars here. Got Raptors in the upper tower, also having a look on lateral. And just behind me is JD as Raptors has spun out of that corner there, turn 4 I believe. He's getting it back around, but he's lost out a heap of time and positions there. We've got Doggy down last. I think he must have picked up damage in the first lap incident. That's unfortunate for Doggy. Back further up the field, Metro is closing the gap on TT Mertz. He's got DRS, was nailed down that straight. He's only less than half a tenth behind. The top 4 boys are really close together. Further back down the field, Hood and Carnage are battling out. Now it's Carnage, Achilles in the Haas, in the McLaren sandwich. If I flick out to the leaders, looks like there might be a move for the lead coming up here. As, yes, Metro dives down the inside in the last corner to take that position away from Mertz. Is Mertz going to get DRS, or is Hood, or has Metro got DRS? Looks like Metro's got the DRS. As they head down to turn 1, Mertz is having a look around the outside, and he switches back to the inside, trying to get better traction and the run with DRS to get back past. We're on lap 4 already of the sprint race. He's on the battery and he retakes P1. We've also got Kev Cow hanging on to the back of this group with Chris keeping him for company. Further down the field, the McLarens are going side by side around the middle section of the track. Carnage is now behind both McLaren drivers. You've got JD Base just behind him as well. There's action everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Finally getting some great racing there once we've got the lobby sorted out. Apologies again to everyone for all the technical issues we've had today. It was not really a good day for my internet, it seems. As these boys still nose to tail in the midfield. Got a yellow somewhere. I think that's a Alfa Romeo. I think Raptors had another spin, and that's unfortunate for him. Further up the field, Mertz is still in P1. He's got Metro right behind him. Mertz has a bit more battery at the moment. And Kev Cow has closed the gap on both of them as they head on to the main straight now. Is Metro going to take the position back, or is he going to be more tactful and wait for the next DRS? So they run down to turn 1. He takes the inside line. Mertz lets him through. Nice clean racing there, boys. Great stuff. Now Mertz will get the DRS again. Is he going to pass him straight back again? This is fully Max and Charles Leclerc from round 1 this season. He's going around the outside of turn 4, 5, whatever turns these are. And he's just ahead of Metro there. Great racing, boys. Kev Cow is getting very interested indeed, as is Chris in this battle. Further back down the field, looks like the McLarens are still holding off Carnage Achilles, maybe working together with a bit of a tow. In a sprint race, there's no need for a pit stop. And so far, no safety cars or anything, so great racing, boys. I was aiming some sort of mishap into the turn 1 between a few of the drivers, I think. Other than that, it's been real clean so far from what I've seen. These guys are separated by less than a second, all 4 of them. Looks like Mertz has pulled a bit of a margin over Metro at the moment. Chris is looking very racing indeed, all over the back of Kev Cow. He's looking to the inside. Chris is going for the podium position now. Looks like he's got P3 for the time being. Kev Cow's still all over the back of him. Now, is anyone going to be able to make a move here between top 4, or are they going to stay where they are for this particular lap? Down to turn 1, Chris has a little bit of a look to the inside of Metro, but stays behind him for the time being. Gets very close to him on the braking. Who's going to get the better run? Out of turn 3. Looks like Chris is definitely a lot closer to Metro than Metro is to Mertz at the moment. Further back down the field, we'll flick for the time being. We've got fairly big gaps between the top 4, and J-Dog is having a good race, but a bit of a lonely race at the moment. You can see the battle for the lead ahead of him with his teammate involved, but he's just not quite in that fight at the moment. And there's a bit of a bigger margin back to Polsky. And then Lateral has got a similar sort of margin. Hoy Kool-Aid in the second McLaren. Sister McLaren is still over the back of him with Khan Achilles behind both of them. And JD Base also hanging on to this particular battle. Oh, wait a second. Was that Williams? It was. JD Base has had a spin. He's come back on track, destroyed a sign in front of was born Hector in the Haas tonight. Let's click back up to the readers. It looks like there's a battle happening here. Metro has got P1 off TJ Mertz at some point, but now Mertz is going to fight him back down the main straight. They go. The top 4 guys are separated by like half a second here. They're going to go 2 by 2 or 3 wide into turn 1. Looks like Chris W1 is going to send it over both of them. He backs out of it. Smart racing, clean racing from Chris as Metro goes deep and allows Chris and Mertz to get through. Now Kev Cow is down to P4. He looks like he might be trying to get the move done. Let's jump on board a different camera angle. Get a better look at it. Now these 4 are fighting so much it's allowed J-Dog to close the gap by about half a second. Maybe turn into a 5-car strap for the win in the sprint race shortly. The opening race of PRL Season 4. Here we are from Bahrain. Are they looking for battery? We've still got 3 laps to go after the completion of this one. Chris has still got 55-56% on his battery. Mertz is down to 33, so a little bit of advantage there for Chris. Metro is down to 20, so he needs a bit more of his battery than the other guys. Kev Cow is looking pretty similar. J-Dog is now within DRS of these guys. As we head down to main straight. Ooh. Chris was all over the back of Mertz, but had a bit of a scruffy exit onto the main straight, but with the DRS assistant, looks like he's going to get that job done. Down into turn 1, the side by side. Chris is on the inside line, he goes through. Does he pull it up well enough? He's going to get the better exit here. Mertz is all over the back of him. I think he's going to get this job done again. He looks around the outside, the side by side, heading into this corner. Oh, that was very close indeed. Looked like a tiny bit of lag. I'm not sure if there was contact there or not. But Chris W1 holds on to P1 for the time being. Metro is in P3 still, followed by Kev Cow and J-Dog. Further back down the field, looks like Osborne Hector and J-Dog, JD Base, my apologies, is having battle too, but it's a bit hard to keep an eye on that when we've got such a good battle happening for the lead. Oh, what happened there with Chris? Chris had a bit of a moment. There was the contact between him and Mertz. I didn't quite see it properly. But TV Mertz has taken P1 again from Chris. Chris has had a stellar race. He's up 6 positions from where he qualified. He'll be very happy indeed with that, but I'm sure he wants to get that win. Oh, is there a bit of a love tap there from Metro? I think there was, and push Chris wide. Chris comes back on the track. No harm really done there unless there's damage to Metro's car. But he's both lost out a bit to... Oh, it's happened again. There's more contact. Oh, they've been to each other. They're both off the track. Oh, no. Looked like there was a bit of a difference in the braking between Chris and Metro, and they've both lost out there. Metro's lost out more. That's released Kev Cow and J-Dog into P2 and P3 with 2 laps to go of the sprint race. There's something from... There's going to be some sort of steering car into that one, I believe. It's looked like a couple of corners in a row on the braking. Metro is a bit later on the brakes and tapped the back of Chris's car. And they both lost out there. That's unfortunate. Okay, at the moment, it's a bit more spread out between the top 3. Kev Cow is still within DRS of Mertz, the 1 and 2, these boys. The Williams followed by the AlphaTauri. don't count J-Dog out yet, but you have to be an almighty last lap and a half from him to get back into the winning contention. Now the two Aston Martin boys are running P4 and 5, nose to tail. Having a very strong race here. Aston Martin flick through the field quickly. Anything else happening? Still got Hood in the McLaren in 7th. It's like lateral, and the other McLaren has lost out a bit and lost a few positions. He's down to 11th, just behind Purple Snack. And not much really happening further back. Jump back onto these boys. Onto the main straight now. They both got lights flashing. There's no battery left at all from both of them. Is Kevkau going to gain enough to send a move into turn 1? Not at this stage. Oh, very close to the back of them. There's only a few attempts in it. Or Mertz gets a little bit loose out of turn 2. It holds onto it. We won the final lap of the sprint as actually flow by with awesome action all through the field. Kevkau's getting very close and run the braking there. Got one more DRS zone to go. That would probably be it for overtaking chances. Ooh, very close indeed. Kevkau's got the better run. Ooh, what's happened there to... He's out of fuel. He's out of fuel, I think. He's gone very slowly indeed. Ghosting. Do you have a disconnect? Further up the road, Hook Kool-Aid and Carnage Achilles are battling all the way to the line for P6. Looks like it's Kevkau's race now for first. As through goes Power Stride in the Alfa Romeo. Carnage goes very late on the brakes, but he loses it on the traction. That's a reset to track from Carnage Achilles. That's a big no-no. That's a big no-no from Carnage Achilles. I don't know if there was contact there or he just lost it on his own. Looked like there was contact, but it seemed like after he lost it on the braking already, to me. But we'll find out on the Discord, I'm sure, later on. But yeah, that's the sprint race pretty much run and done. Kevkau takes P1, followed by J-Dog. Chris and Pelosi in the Aston Martins had a very strong race in P3 and 4. Chris could have won that race without that contact from Metro, and vice versa. Metro could have maybe won that race as well. Hook Kool-Aid had a very strong race in the P6 for McLaren. Driver of the sprint for me is Hook Kool-Aid up 9 positions. Stonkin drive from 15th to 6th. We're just waiting for Raptors to cross the line still. I don't understand what happened to Mertz there. He's dropped all the way down to like 12th or 13th, I think, after leading the race. Well, what a sprint race that was. That's lifted my spirits after all the schmozzle of this game earlier in the qualifying sessions. So just to recap, we've got Kevkau has taken P1 in the sprint race. That's going to be pole position for the feature 50% race to come still. Got J-Dog in P2, Chris in P3, Pelosi in P4. Second row lockout from Aston Martin, Metro P5, Hood P6. Powerslide got himself into P7, Carnage is P8, but he had the reset to track at the end there. That's going to definitely bite him in the arse with some sort of shooting after the event. Purple Snake had a solid race in the 9th, Laurel in the 10th, and the rest were where they were, and I didn't get there in time. Alright. It's going to be a formation lap again, I believe, because it was a formation for the sprint, so you can't have one without the other. And we'll get running shortly. Should be a one-stop race, I'd imagine. Most people will be going mediums to hards, or hards to mediums in the alternate strategy. Maybe one or two boys with chance of soft tyres. Let's find out details. Yeah, we've got Doggy down in 15th, who's decided to go for the soft tyres. I reckon you could probably run them for about 7 laps or so. They wouldn't be feeling great by the end of your stint. He's hoping to make up some positions to start the race on the softs, and then probably do extended stint on the hards, or hope for a safety car later on. Now we've got a bunch of disqualifications from the formation lap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 disqualifications from the formation lap. What on earth happened there? Got Mertz, JD Base, I Was Born Hectic, Ships, and Doggy all disqualified from the formation lap. I've never seen that happen before to so many drivers. Was there a big pile-up or some sort of glitch? Anyway, Raptors somehow avoided it behind all that lot, and that will ahead of them. I think that's going to be a big disadvantage to those guys going to turn 1 or the first half a lap at least, because I'm pretty sure if you get disqualified, the tyres go back to like 70 degrees Celsius, which is suboptimal to say the least. As the boys are completing the formation lap now. Flick back up the field. Yeah, there's all the cars that are disqualified. Let's see that from someone's point of view. Metro in P5. Everyone else in front. I'm going to have to go around all these guys. That's going to make it hard for Lowell to get in this grid position. So these guys pull straight across. Okay, let's look up to the side of the field. We've got Kevcow, P1, lights out, and away we go. Looks like Kevcow gets a better launch. J-Dog gets a little bit boxed down. Chris is already getting ahead of him on the outside of the thing on the run down to turn 1. He's going to be nervous on the brakes. That's a terrible camera shot. Let's jump back on the road here. Looks like they're still side by side. Chris and J-Dog. Chris takes P2 for the time being. Flossy's going to be looking to get involved in this as well. Further back, we've got some people going backwards. Must have been some contact between a few drivers, unfortunately, once again. Flossy's up the inside of J-Dog. They're side by side for this section. This is very tight here. He's going to back out. Looks like Flossy backed out there. Smart racing from Pawlowski. We've got Hood Kool-Aid up to 5th, getting the Hood. And now Pawlowski has gotten ahead of J-Dog somewhere where I just missed. Oh, wait, no, they're side by side with him. I thought it was both the Astons for a second. My apologies. Fighting. Yep. J-Dog is still in front of Pawlowski in the Aston Martin sandwich. He's lost a bit of time already to the front two guys. Have broken away a bit. We've got Hood and P5 looking to make a move on Pawlowski perhaps. Further back down the field, we had Doggy start on the soft tyres, try and make up some positions. Let's get... yeah, there's only Power on the hards, everyone else is on the mediums, and Doggy on the softs. Positions gain, we got Metro. Oh no, Metro had a moment in turn 1, either self-inflicted or someone else was involved. As Doggy goes to the inside, as I Was Born Hectic on the run to the final corner, he takes P12. Great racing from those two boys there. Looking back up the field. Carnage Achilles is all over the back of Hood Kool-Aid Man. He dives it to the inside. Oh, he goes super deep across the chicane. He stuffed it up completely. Now he's got most of the field through. 10-second penalty. Oh, he's completely missed his braking point or something there. He did well to avoid everyone though, Carnage. Get back in it. So Kev Cow's got about a second margin over iChris for P1 at the moment. Further back, Mertz is coming back through the field, so whatever happened in the closing stage of the sprint race, he's sorted himself out. And he's back in the lobby, or he must have ran out of fuel or something, fuel, I think. That's why he was struggling so hard. Must have been banking on a safety car. And he's gotten ahead of the two Alfa Romeo boys for P6. As I Was Born Hector has gotten back past Doggy at some point, so these two boys are still battling up further. We've got JD Base in the Williams all over the back of Power Slide on the hard tyres, so Power Slide has a bit of a disadvantage in terms of grip at the moment. They're still going at it around there. So we had a spin from someone who's dropped down through the field. I think it might have been Ships. As we stay on board with this battle here. Around the outside, got Power against JD. We got the Haas of I Was Born Hector and Doggies all over the back of this battle too. We've got 4 cars now here. Further up the field, it looks like a battle for P3 as well, as we got Pulowski going to the inside on J-Dog, and he gets that move done from now. So we're on to lap 3, DRS is available. Hood is having a stonking race and is still all the way up there in P5, and he's all over the back of J-Dog, and he might make a move into the next corner here. Further back, it looks like it was a Haas having a bit of lag or something. As J Hood, Kool-Aid Man, has taken P4 and gotten past. J-Dog's having a bit of a rough start, but I wonder if he's got any damage or what have you, but it doesn't look like it. He's got all his wing intact at the moment. As Metro picks up a penalty. Raptors is a bit by himself now. Born Hector and Doggy are still fighting. They've gotten past Power Side. Further back down the field, we've got JD Base, Purple Snack, Laryl, and Metro fighting now. Yeah, Metro's had some issues to start this race. Down 9 spots, that's unfortunate for you. Raptors is up 9 spots, a great start for Raptors. Doggies, well, Spawn Hector has a spin, he's just noticed he lost a couple of positions to Raptors and Doggy, I believe, or Power Slide. And now he's down into the battle of JD Base for 10th, as we got like a 5-car strap here flipping back up the field. We've got J-Dog just going back past Hook Kool-Aid Man. These two are still scrapping away for P4. iChris is within DRS range on Kev Cow. Let's see if he's going to get a bit of a run on him here, and he's just hanging with him for the time being. Both of them are down to pretty much the same battery, 21%. Pulse has a bit more and is a bit further back from the lead battle at the moment, as Hood has found some serious pace, it looks like, this race. He's still hassling J-Dog. It's all over the back of him. It's looks like one of the closest battle on the track at the moment. We've also got Purple further back, pretty close to JD Base. Action everywhere you look as they go around the hairpin now. We're on lap 4 of 29, still a long way to go. I just need to catch my breath for a minute. Carnage Achilles has had a DNF. When did that happen? When did I miss that? I don't see any flags on the track, so it must have been a while ago. My apologies for missing that. He probably retired after he missed turn 1 and 2 and copped that 10-second penalty. He probably retired in the pits. As Purple is getting closer and closer to JD Base for P11. JD Base is not too far away from the other guys, as Hook Kool-Aid Man is looking around the outside of J-Dog as they go through turn 2 and 3. Who's going to get the better run here? Who's got the DRS? Looks like J-Dog's got the inside line and DRS. Hood's still fighting it around the outside. They're leaving each other enough room there. Looks like they're being very respectful of each other. Great racing, boys. This is exciting stuff here. They've been fighting each other pretty hard the whole race. I think they're probably costing themselves a bit of time to the leading 3, but what can you do? It might pay to start working together a bit and just slipstreaming back past each other, but as right behind them, looks like T2 Mercs has made a bit of a charge after running out of fuel in the sprint race, I believe. He's up to P6 and he's joining this back of this battle. As Chris has closed the gap to... Oh no! No, Chris, no! As I was jumping back on board, Chris just caught the tail end of a spin out of the... Where was he on track? The fast right-hander, I think. He was within half a second of Kev Cow and about to challenge him for the lead, I think, and he just lost it. That's unlucky, Chris. Get back in it. He's down to 8th. He's still going. Hasn't got any damage. Lost a stack of time though. Hopefully he can recover. Got Doggy, who's of course on the soft tyres. He's probably going to be starting to struggle pretty shortly on the soft tyres. As these two boys are still going out. Oh, that's very close. Oh, no. Hood and J-Dog have made contact there. And J-Dog has been spun around. Now he's also lost a bunch of time to everyone else. That'll probably be looked at by the stewards. I don't want to make any comment about who's at fault at the moment there. But Aang just caught the back of that too. So now looks like there's a bit of a fuel spread happening with the top 3 guys now, because the guy that was running 2nd and 4th have had spins for various reasons, and now Kev Cow's got a bit of a margin. He's got to try and maintain over Pelosi and Saint Pelosi over the other guys, as Doggy has just dived up the inside of the Raptors on the soft compound tyres. Doggy's up 10 positions. The soft compound tyres has worked very well for Doggy to gain lots of track position and time. Up to 5th, he's up 10 spots. Raptors is also up 10 stops. These two have had the best start to this race out of anyone so far. They're probably my drivers of the day, the pair of them. As they got Chris recovering behind them and battling away, as Raptors is going back on Doggy of DRS and gets that job done. Mertz and Hood are battling now for P3. Oh shit, that was close coming out of that corner. I think Mertz has a bit more pace than Hood at this stage of the race. He's gone to the inside line. They're going to leave each other enough room. As may not being... Oh shit, a bit of a tank slapper there from Hood, but he held on to it. Fortunately there wasn't more contact there, and Mertz has been released to chase after, try and break away from Hood and chase after the top 2 boys now to get back to where he was in the sprint race before. I think he ran out of fuel halfway around the last lap. As what else is happening? It's like Raptors has broken away from Doggy a bit. I think it's probably about time for Doggy to pit with those soft tyres. He's done extremely well to gain as much track position and time as he has, but I reckon they're just about cactus now. Let's go back on the tyres here. 6th lap, so he's technically 7 lap old soft now, and you got to factor in the formation lap as well. I think Doggy was one of the ones that got disqualified from the formation lap, so maybe they didn't get any hardware on the formation lap. Whatever happened there. Is Doggy going to pit this lap, or is he going to keep going for another couple? It's a very long stint on the hards that he's going to have to do if that's the call. He is boxing now. Doggy's boxing now. P6, getting rid of the softs. He's had enough of them. Now see what tyres he goes on. Is he going to go on the hards to try and go to the end, or is he going to go medium? No, he's got the hard tyres. Yeah, that's probably the better call. Just takes too long to stop. I don't think the 2-stopper really works that often unless of safety cars and the like, of course. And so far, no safety cars, and we've only had 1 retirement, which is great to see from Carnage Achilles. Unfortunate for him, as Doggy comes back out in 15th position, also known as last place at the moment. But of course, he's made the stop and everyone else hasn't in front of him. But this is going to be a long stint for Doggy. He's got to manage those tyres to perfection from here. But he should have the pace over everyone else for the time being ahead of him. Oh no! Doggy has had a spin on the cold high tyres after coming out of the pit lane. That's going to cost him. That's probably cost him about 5 seconds there. That's what you got to be careful of. Especially the first lap or so coming out of the pits. The first 2 corners here are brutal with cold tyres. Okay, let's move on. We'll get back on board Doggy later and see how he progresses through the field after everyone else makes the stops. As the Alfa Romeo boys nose to tail. Power side is on the hard compound tyres and has a lot more battery than his teammate ahead of him, but his teammate Raptors also has DRS on. Chris, who's trying to recover after having a spin, as the 2 Alfa Romeo boys are going side by side. Is there any team orders in Alfa Romeo? Oh, sorry, I was on the wrong car there. As Raptors holds on to P6 for the time being. Power, I thought Power had the spin there, but I think might just had a tank slap or it was a weird camera shot. I think the mediums about now will start to be feeling the pinch compared to the hards. I think the hards are coming to Power side, I would say. As further back down the field, looks like Purple's had a moment. Yes, he's in the gravel trap after having a spin. I saw he dropped a couple of positions there. Further up the field, Kev Cow looks like he's in complete control. He's extended the margin slightly over Polsky to 3.3 seconds. Mertz has broken away in P3 a little bit from Hood after getting the pass done there. Don't think he's really catching the top 2 guys by much, if anything, as of yet. But we'll see how that progresses later in the race. Hood Kool-Aid Man still having a great race. But, I wish I saw more of what happened between him and J-Dog. They're having some great... That was an awesome battle up to that point, and it seemed like they were being very respectful of each other's room, but I think a little bit of a pinch might have happened between the 2 there. As further back, the Alfa Romeo boys are still battling on the run onto the DRS straight. The Raptors have got nothing left. Surely he's got to let his teammate by, or they should be working together, really, trying to tow each other along to get past Chris and get as far as up the field as they can. As Power takes that position. Oh shit, it's very close with Raptors. I thought Raptors was going to do a little bit of a dangerous dive bomb back at the inside there, but nope. Now Power can try and focus on catching back up to Chris, because they've lost the DRS to Chris for the moment after fighting each other for those couple of laps. Now everywhere else on the track seems to be spreading out a bit. How's Doggy going? Yeah, he's on 2 lap old hards, still the only one to pit, I think. I'd imagine medium runners would probably start coming to pits around about lap 12 to 14 would be my guess for the idea strategy. And the hard of Power could probably be from lap 16, 17 onwards would be my guess for the strategy. Okay. Power got very close to getting back in the DRS of Chris, so I think he just missed out. As J-Dog is now joining the fray, trying to make up as many positions as he can after a little bit of an incident with Kool-Aid Man. After what was frankly some spectacular battle between the 2 drivers. Osborne Hector, haven't really been on board with him much. So earlier on when he was having a bit of a battle with Doggy. This is his first race for PRL, along as is a debut for Mertz, and in the season proper as a debut for Kev Cow. So welcome aboard, you 3. You're having a great race, keeping your nose clean up in the P9. It's a solid debut so far, and it's like you're catching or hanging on to the back of this group of the led by the Alfa Romeos. It's turning into a 4-5 car scrap. And probably a little bit of a DRS training at this point in time. Like purple is not far away from Doggy. Chips has had some issues this race as well and is running 15th, also known as last moment. As we have the first stopper, it's pretty early I would say from Pawlowski trying to get the undercut. On Kebkow, I think the margin was about 3.5 seconds when he stopped. Where is he going to come back out into the fray? Is he going to get some nice clean air? Looks like he's going to. He's going to come out behind JD Base, but a decent margin behind JD Base. He's just got to make sure he brings those tyres in gently and doesn't get on the power too much, especially his first two corners are horrendous on cold tyres. Careful, careful. Well done, Pawlowski. Alright, let's see what he can do. Oh no, I just commentated cursing, didn't I? I commentated curse, I was born hectic, saying he was having a great race so far in his debut and he's had a bit of a moment. Ships has retired from the session in the pit lane, it would appear. And that's unfortunate on Ships. It wasn't quite working out for him today. His power side is closing the gap on Ichris and is now well and truly within DRS range. He's towing his teammate along, in turn is towing J-Dog along. Metro was sort of with this pack but has lost a bit of time. He may have to avoid I was born hectic when hectic spun in front of him. And has lost the DRS stream for the time being. As Kebkow responds to Pawlowski's pit stop, and in he is. The margin was about 3.5 seconds, I believe. That's earlier than I thought they were going to stop. As he slaps on the higher compound tyres, let's see where he comes out in comparison. As we have a bunch of people boxing now. Got Mertz, got Chris, Raptors, Hood. Chris, pretty much the entire top 10 is just boxed. So that's going to give Hood, Kebkow a lot of free air. As he comes back in front of... Oh, shit! Shit! I just caught that. As Mertz was coming out of the pit lane, Pawlowski was arriving on the scene and turning to turn one. And there was a bit of contact between Mertz and Pawlowski, leading to Pawlowski having a spin. That's a bit of a horrendous pit lane exit there. Oh, that's unfortunate for Pawlowski. But he's still... top 5 is still looking good. But he's obviously got to make some moves happen now as he's looking to do just that on Hood, who's on cold, the hard tyres. So if I was Hood, I wouldn't fight him too hard here. He'd still bring those tyres in. And Pawlowski gets that job done nicely. I was about to try and check on the margin between Pawlowski and Kebkow after they stopped. Fortunately, that contact with Mertz, it's kind of stuffed that up. As further back, lateral still going around on medium compound tyres, as is J-Dog in P2, but J-Dog is pitting now. Lateral's got Raptors for company on new hard compound tyres. The power side has taken the lead on 13 lap old hard tyres. He's probably going to try and extend for another 2 or 3 laps to get a bit of a tyre advantage over the other boys, slap on the mediums and charge through the field at the end of the race. See how the strategy plays out for him. J-Dog is coming out of the pit lane now, behind Ichris. 1 lap newer tyres than most of the boys ahead of him, 2 lap newer than Pawlowski. As Hood is trying to fight back on Pawlowski for what is P4 now. Any other battles materialising? I think J-Dog got Chris on, Lateral on his 13 lap old mediums. Purple's also yet to box on 13 lap old mediums, and obviously Power on the higher compound tyres, who's currently leading the race. I'd imagine that it's probably time to box now for Lateral and Purple. was keeping with J-Dog pretty well, but I think J-Dog did pass in this lap. Obviously, J-Dog's tyres are still coming to temperature. They're probably just about now getting into the good range after one lap. Is Laurel on the pit, or is he going to keep going? He's keep going. Interesting. Is Laurel going to try a very unusual strategy with the medium tyres? I wonder how much longer you can stretch them. Maybe he's hoping for a safety car. Floyd is still all over Kowalski. I think Kowalski's starting to gain a little bit of time back on TJ Mertz after he was spun by him when Mertz was exiting the pit lane. I think that was just an unfortunate situation, and when they just both came to the same part of the track at exactly the same time and just didn't work out for even. Kev Cow is in an extremely strong position. He's got a 10-second deficit to Power, but Power is obviously yet to pit on the high compound tyres. Kowalski's closed the gap a little bit more on Mertz, not quite in DRS range. Hood is running out of battery, but he's still within DRS range. Just. He's got iChris for company. It's further back down the field, we've got Raptors and Metro battling for P9. Is Metro going to send it late on the brakes? No, not in this point in time. Oh, that's a bit of a late lunge from Metro. Raptors saw him coming and left the room. They're still side by side here. Oh, that's a tricky part of the track. Someone always has to back out there. It's pretty much impossible to go side by side for those 5, 6, 7 corner, 5th, 6th and 7th corner net. Metro's all still right over the back of him. Always got to the inside here. I didn't quite see where Raptors went. I think Raptors may have went off track there. Neither of them have much battery left. Metro has a 3-second penalty for track limits, I believe. As further up the field, Kowalski's gained a bit more time on Mertz and has a bit more battery in the tank. That will continue to go on the mediums. No, he's trying to decide to get rid of them. 15 laps is as far as he can go. Well, actually technically 16. Okay, is he going for the hards or is he going to try the softs? He's going for the hards. Interesting strategy there. Purple is continuing to go around on the mediums, 16 lap old mediums now. They'll be feeling the pinch for sure. You can see the dull patch on the right hand tyre there. It's won't have much grip left. I must say Power's doing very well on 16 lap old hards. Probably come in the next lap or two, I'd imagine. Kev Cow has gained a bit of time on them on newer hards. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background. Let's close the window. Clem, shush! Yeah, it's Power. Is he going to box this lap or is he going to keep it going? He keeps it going. Yeah, he's maintained like a 9.5 second lap. I think Kev Cow's taken like a second and 2 maybe out of him max, but when he boxes and comes back out on the medium tyres, I'm not 100% sure what the pit loss time would be. Probably around about 20 seconds, I'd say, for pit stop. So I reckon he's going to come out amidst the battle for 3rd place between Pelosi, Mertz, Hood, Chris. Somewhere in this range I think he's going to come out with way newer tyres. Even if he comes out slightly behind Chris, I think he should be able to get some moves happening with newer medium tyres. Pelosi has closed right up on Mertz now, he's only a few tenths behind him. Oh shit, something's happening to JD base. He was side by side with... Where's the car? On the left hand side somewhere. There was a tyre rolling across track. He was side by side with I was born Hector, I think. I saw on the map that they were, like, the position changed, but no, I didn't catch it. But I don't know if there was contact there or they were battling or we just lost into the wall, and then that's when that... But we got a full course safety car, ladies and gentlemen. So that's played brilliantly into Powerside's hands. Still 11 laps to go after this one. I think that's too long for the soft compound tyres, I believe. So I think he's going to go onto the mediums. That's going to benefit Purple as well, but he's also yet to stop. He's going to have to go to the hards. Purple, I think. Unless he tries now outside the box strategy and goes soft or hopes for another safety car. As Hood Kool-Aid boxes. Kev Cow boxes for softs. Oh, that's a stretch just far out for the soft tyres, I think. Kev Cow does run 4 TC. I don't think anyone else here really does. Most of the boys will be on medium or none at all. So maybe that might help him be a bit more gentle on the tyres. But who knows. So he's down to P6. Powerside's in P2 on new medium tyres. I think this is Powerside's race to lose now. Just behind Mertz on 6 lap old hard tyres. I haven't really raced with Mertz. I did 1 5 lap with him the other day. And that was it. So I don't know too much about him. He's a young kid though, I know that. I think he's only about 13 years old. Aussie. Let's see how he copes with the pressure of leading the PRL round 1. Oh, he warming up the tyres pretty rigorously there. Copes with the pressure of leading his debut race in PRL Tier 2. He certainly got some pace because he took out pole position by a few tenths of a second over Ships to start with before the sprint race. Bit of a miserable race for Ships, unfortunately, with the DNF. After starting the main race second, I can't remember where he started the sprint race from, the main race from, after starting second in the sprint. As the field isn't quite all caught up yet, there's still a Ferrari just catching the field now. I believe we're going to go one more lap on the safety car. Oh wait, never mind, there's still Purple and they're all to catch up to the back of the field. So, we got Mertz on high compound tyres, 7 lap old. We got Powerside on 1 lap old medium tyres in the box seat, I would imagine that. We got Hood Kool-Aid in P3 having an outstanding drive, also in 7 lap old hards, with Chris keeping him company. J-Dog just behind them on 1 lap newer, 6 lap old hards. Kev Cow pitted for a second time out of P2 for soft compound tyres. There's still, once we get racing, there's going to be 9 laps to go. So I think we're going to get racing at the end of this lap. That's a fairly long way to take the soft compound tyres in this game. They wear pretty quick, in my experience. You'd probably be able to get them to the end, but I don't think they're going to be his friends come the end of the race. He's got to really take advantage of the first 2 or 3 laps when he's got the major grip advantage. I wonder if he ran those tyres in qualifying or the brand new pair he saved. So if he already had some wear from quali, and that's just going to add to the grip rose come the end of the race. And behind him we got Metro on 7 lap old hards. Unfortunately for Metro, I believe he has a 3-second time limit penalty for track limits. Yep, he's the only one with a penalty at the moment. Right behind him he's got Raptors, sorry, on also 7 lap old hards. Got Pelosi also trying out the softs. Pelosi was in the fight for the win, at least the podium as well. Safety car is coming in this lap. Script run for the rest of the field. Got Osborne Hector, 7 lap old hards, and then we got Junkyard Dog on new mediums. I think watch out for Junkyard Dog. I reckon he's going to go well on those tyres. Purple on the hards. Got Lara on the softs as well. All new tyres. As the safety car is pulling away now, Metz is trying to warm up the tyres, letting the safety car get away. Let's see what sort of launch he gets. Look at his. Oh, is he going? He's waiting for the moment. He's gone now. Hood. Power's been caught napping. Hood and Chris overtook him there. I don't know if that was legal though. That may have been before the line. Oh shit, and there's been contact. I think that might have been his teammate that hit him. Further back down the field. Purple's has a moment. Oh, Osborne Hector just has a spin on the car tyres that are probably pretty cold still, but they're hard to warm up after the safety car. Hood's in P3, he's all over the back of Chris. Chris has come through. Kev Cow has lost out a bit on the start. Doggy's had a good one, he's up a fair few spots from where he was, so I think it's mainly to do with others having issues in front of him. Fuck, that's destroyed Power Side's race there. He was in the box seat to win it. Mertz waited very late to go. Not sure if it was the second movement where first he went and then he stopped and then went again, or just waited till the very last moment. Hood was already alongside Power at that point, I think, which is a big no-no, and him and Chris may have even passed him before they got to the control line or the start-finish line. So that's going to definitely, the whole situation, safety car restart's probably going to be looked at by the stewards. As we've got Pelosi on the inside of J-Dog on the soft compound tyres compared to the older hards. He goes around the outside, gets that move done nicely. Up to the P4. Let's see what Pelosi can do on those soft compound tyres. As further up the field, it's like Mertz has broken away a little bit from Icarus and Hood. Kool-Aid is doing well to hold on the P3, but I think Pelosi's coming for them for at least the next couple of laps until those soft tyres go away from him. Got the two Red Bull boys running nose to tail in P5 and P6 now behind them. Kev Cow, who was in P2, who was leading the race in fact before he pitted at P2 before the safety car came out, and he pitted again. It's down at P7 on the soft compound tyre. He's all over the back of one of the Red Bulls. It's Metro he's all over the back of. He's got a lot more grip at this point. Of course, sister teams, Red Bull and the AlphaTauri. I don't think the two main Red Bull boys want to be beaten by the junior little brother team. DRS is enabled now. Looks like they're going to stay where they are for the time being. Chris is within DRS range on Mertz. They've both got about 50% just under battery, so very even Stevens here between those two. We've got Hood Kool-Aid Man who's burnt a bit more battery, also within DRS. And got to watch out for Pelosi on the soft compound tyres. I think the next thing to happen here is the closest thing to happening is this fight between Kev Cow and the Red Bull boys. KPR's lower pace, so looks like Metro's a little bit laggy maybe. KPR's still got a fair bit of battery. Metro might be trying to do the team game for J-Dog and hold up J-Dog for, hold up KevKal for everyone else ahead, or mainly for his teammate. It's further up, Walsey's getting very close to Hood for P3 as well. Chris is closing the gap for P1. Could Chris win his first race for PRL? I don't believe Chris has won a race for PRL, to my memory, but this might be his moment. Very strong start to the season at this point in time for Aston Martin. As behind him, looks like there's a move for P3 happening, but maybe a move for P1 at the same time. The Astons both making sister moves into turn one. Chris takes the inside line, takes the lead of the race from Mertz, still side by side battling it out. Do they leave each other enough space? Oh no, there's contact! They're both round! Oh, Chris is at least. Oh, he's back on the track now. What the hell happened there? Shit. Kowalski is through now into P2. Hood is P3 in between the two. Wow. There's going to be a fair bit to look out between the shoes, I think, after this one. So yellow in sector 3. We've got a retirement in the pit lane. Looks like it's lateral. That's the second time I think Chris was challenging for the lead and he's had a spin. The first time I think was self-infected. That one, very questionable who's at fault there. I'm sure a lot will be said about that. Bit of controversy to go with your first round of Tier 2 PRL Season 4. Would you have it any other way? Some great racing, but a bit of controversy too. I would hate to be a steward. Oh shit, that's right, I am a steward. It's going to be a long week, I think. Anyway, now Pelosi in the sister Aston Martin is in P2 and challenging for the win. We got 5 laps to go. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. That's the correct 5 laps to go now. Chris is once again trying to recover and get back to a winning position. He's all over the back of Hood. He's got a bit more battery than Hood. Okay, so TTT Mertz is at 37% battery. Pelosi could be sizing up a move very shortly. He's got over 50%. He's got the soft compound tyres. He's got to make a move happen as soon as he can before the soft tyres fade away from him. Behind him, looks like they've broken the DRS to Hoyd by a little bit. That's going to help his teammate of Icarus potentially make a move into turn 1 and turn 2 as well. Whilst he's getting closer and closer to Mertz. Does Mertz have enough fuel in the car this time? He shouldn't, after having a safety car. He'll learn his lesson after the sprint race. Falling out of the lead of the sprint because of a fuel issue, I believe. His battery is flashing. Well, Max is all over the battery. He's deployed it all. He's burned it all. He had like 30% left. Now he's gone down to pretty much nothing. Looks like Pelosi is being a bit patient. He's still at 55%. It wasn't really on the battery then. Behind him, Hood and Chris. Ooh, I didn't quite see it, but they had a bit of a battle happening there. And now that's allowed J-Dog to get all over the back of Chris. Is J-Dog going to try and get the move done on Chris? Chris goes defensive to the inside. That's allowed the teammate of J-Dog, Metro, to get all over the back of it too. KevKal still stuck behind the two Red Bull boys in P7. Might not being the best decision from his point of view in hindsight to pit, but it's worked out well for Velocity at this point in time. Further back down the field, Raptors and Doggy battling away for P11. You still got points all the way down to P15 in PRL. So as long as they finish the race, they'll still get a handful of points, these two. See what happens there towards the end, but can't really break away from the battle for the lead at the moment and the win. Mertz, Pawlowski have broken away even further from Hood, Chris, J-Dog. Looks like that's the battle for the podium. And Pawlowski and Mertz is the battle for the win at this point in time, unless something happens between here and the end of the race. As they cross the line this time around, there'll be 3 laps to go. Mertz has not much left, he's still on the battery, he's down to 4%. Looks like Pawlowski's on the battery this time as well. He's closing the gap, Is he going to send a late move to the outside? Not quite, he does. He just gets the nose in there, is he gonna... Ooh, back out, he backs out of it. Behind him, looks like Chris got Hood, but is Hood gonna try and get him back into turn 3 and 4 and so on? No. Behind him looks like Raptors and Doggy are still going hammer and tong for P11. As Kev Cow has gotten past Metro, he's gotten one of the Red Bulls. He's on the stock compound tyres, they're 8 laps old, most of the grip will be gone at this point, I would imagine. As Chris, something happened to Chris there and he's lost a few positions. We've got Metro around the outside, so Kev Cow has gotten one of the Red Bulls and now Chris too after what happened there. Now Kev Cow's got to try and get past the second Red Bull. And Hood Kool-Aid to get onto the podium. Look at all these cars, there's like several cars separated by nothing, but further up the road, this could be the time for Pawlowski to take away the win and the lead of the race from Mertz. Mertz is on the battery, he's got hardly anything left. Pawlowski's also on the battery, he's burned a bit too. That Williams is a slippery thing in a straight line, looks like. And he's able to hold on to it again there. Just to flick back to these guys, or they're all very close. Kev Cow, a little bit of a touch on the back of J-Dog there. Wow, look at these gaps. Ooh, Metro, a little bit of look on the inside, Chris. I feel like Chris has been the most unfortunate one this race so far. There was a couple of times where he was challenging for the lead and it didn't quite work out for him. As Doggy's had a moment now, turn 2. I don't know what happened there exactly. Pawlowski is still within DRS. He's starting to burn through his battery a little bit, but he's still got a bit of advantage there over 2 Mertz. That's behind him, Hood and J-Dog. J-Dog and Hood. J-Dog going around the outside of Hood. This is a tricky section here that may allow Kev Cow to get interested as well. This is coming into the last net now. It's now or never for Pawlowski. It's now or never for J-Dog, Kev Cow and Hood for the podium as well. Maybe an Chris, but let's see what happens here. He's got nothing left to defend with, but he's just too fast in a straight line. I think the soft compound tyres have just worn out a bit too much for Pawlowski. Further back, oh, contact between J-Dog and Hood. They both survive it. Don't know quite what happened there. And behind them there's cars absolutely everywhere. There's Chris and Kev Cow, Metro all over each other. No one's got any battery left really. You've got Power Side who's recovered after getting taken out as well in the safety car restart. He was super unfortunate as well, could have won this race as well. Purple and Raptors are further back down the field. They've got looks like Mertz has got this covered now as the battle for P3 is undecided. This might go all the way from the line. And Metro, J-Dog has got the advantage over Hood. Oh, Hood on the last lap. He just cut that corner a little bit too much and picked up a 3-second penalty. That's heartbreak for Hood Kool-Aid, man. That's going to drop him a few spots for sure. And there's the podium chance gone. Kev Cal is going to get promoted to 4th from the looks of it. Let's go back onto the leader now. Mertz in his debut race for PRL Season 4, Tier 2, Round 1. Tier 2, Mertz takes P1 and wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Well done, man. Well done. What a debut from Tier 2 Mertz. Pelosi takes P2. What an effort from Pelosi. Tried everything he could on those soft compound tyres, but didn't quite have enough at the end. J-Dog takes P3. There's controversy of plenty with some contact between most of the boys there on a few occasions, battling for the podium. Chris takes P4. Hood got the 3-second penalty on the last lap, gets knocked down a few spots. So Cape Town hits P4. I think Chris must have got 5th then. Well, what a race. I'll try and contact the top 3 boys, get their thoughts. Crazy race. Okay, so we've got T2 Mertz, got Pulowski, and we've got J-Dog on the podium. I'll contact those 3 boys and try and get a word from them. Just one moment. Okay, there we go. The call has been sent to TT2 Mertz, Pulowski, and this is J-Dog. And looks like this is J-Dog is the first one to join the party. J-Dog.
Hello, good sir.
How's it going? That was crazy
that
shit.
was mayhem, mate. That was mayhem. That was the most mayhem race I've ever seen in my life. From start to finish. Oh my god, bro. Man.
Well, it was a long event, way longer than it should have been with the technical issues to start with. And yeah, obviously there was a few controversial moments between a few of the boys, to say the least. A bit of argy-bargy.
Bro, I'm keen to watch the stream, and literally the first thing I did was save my footage. I'm like, this is going to war.
Yeah, there's going to be a few reports posted for sure.
Bro, some of that stuff, my god. And then there was a few guys who I don't know if you saw it on the stream, went flying down the straight to no brakes.
I thought earlier on in the race, I think Achilles had a moment where he completely missed his brakes. I think he avoided everyone and I retired in the pits after that.
Yeah, no.
And then safety car restart, I feel sorry for Power Side. He was in a strong position in P2 and he got tapped by someone. I didn't quite see 2. I think it may have been his teammate Raptors, but I'm not 100% sure. And that spun him out.
No, look, it was good race anyway. I mean, hey, that's the excitement of the sport, mate.
Yeah, solid race.
I guarantee you, I'll watch that whole stream from start to finish. It'll be good.
Sweet. Where did you finish again? Was that P2 or P3 on the end? P3, wasn't it? Yeah.
3. Yeah. So Hood, Kool-Aid and I were fighting early on for P3, and the safety car helped me, and then we ended up fighting again for P3.
Yeah, you guys had a couple of...
I'll tell you what though, props to him, because that's not the Hood Kool-Aid I know, man. He's driving good.
He was very quick, yeah. He took me by surprise there. I'll give him a few tips in a McLaren squad. Helped them out with suggestions.
I'm pretty sure maybe you were just driving there and commentating. That might have been it.
That would have been very hard to cover up and watch the stream. That would be very hard to take. Anyway, Anyway, yeah, there was some great racing between the 2. No worries. It was some great racing for you 2 guys to start with, but yeah, a few moments that were less than desirable, but yeah, I'm sure everything we saw there, and hopefully next week's a bit more calmer, but still some great racing across the field. Did I see TTV Mertz join the party? Yeah, good yourself. Welcome to the stream for, well, the 3rd or 4th stream we tried for Tier 2 Round 1. congratulations. That was your debut race for PRL Tier 2. You took the victory on debut. Doesn't get much better than that. Want to tell us through your race a bit? How was it? How did you find it?
Yeah, look, we were in quali and we did a pretty good lap, but we went into the sprint and we ended with the car, which is not too pleasant. And then at the end of the race, stuff got a bit rowdy with the Aston Martins. I nearly got cut off, I think, third turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, just from then on, I just pushed through, and then I could see the other Aston coming at me from behind, who's catching up really fast. And just at the end of the race, I think those softs just didn't work out.
Yeah, yeah, the softs probably died 1 or 2 laps too early for Pelosi, but it was a solid effort from him. He charged through quite a few drivers to get his way up to fighting yourself. But yeah, there was a few moments that maybe looked at, and we'll see what happens in the stew room. But yeah, great race. Victory on debut, doesn't get better than that. Well done, mate. And yeah, I did notice that I think you underfueled the car in the sprint race, and I wasn't sure what was happening. I just saw you started to go slow, and then saw the red light. I was like, oh no, you were leading the sprint race at that point, weren't you? Too, or like second or something. What's a shame, but you got redemption in the main race.
The whole 10 laps.
All right.
Yeah,
well, good stuff.
It was just trying to race all the whole 10 laps, and at the end, it was really unlucky. But yeah.
Good stuff, mate. Congratulations on the win, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. All right. We'll end the stream there. Thanks everyone for watching. A hectic opening round for PRL season 4 in Tier 2 round 1. And thanks very much for watching. Hopefully Danny Rick will be able to get back in the commentary box tomorrow for the Tier 1, and we can try and work out what exactly happened with all the issues we had to start that race. So that was very frustrating indeed, and I want to apologise for that once again. But anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Catch you later.